Okay, this is a video to show our Meridian system, how it works in a suburban street. That's the Meridian transmitter on the back of an EX1. We're going to walk down this suburban street in London and give you an idea how it works with trees, cars and buildings around. This is our receiver. Again, in the earlier videos we showed how to set up the antennas, having different polarizations, different directions. If all the antennas are seeing the same thing and set up in the same direction, the results are usually pretty disastrous. So that's a good example of how to set up the antennas on the OB receiver. Okay, so down here we've got our monitor. Hope you can hear a little bit of sound there. We're rolling down through our suburban street. We've got perfect sound, perfect pictures. I've actually got the aperture turned way up, so it exaggerates any flaws or any noise or any breakup. We'll be able to see it a lot easier than if it was at zero. So we can walk down there. I'd say he'd be about 50 metres now, and we're absolutely flawless. Between us and the receiver, almost line of sight. I'd call it fuzzy line of sight. We've got some cars, some trees, that kind of thing in between us. It actually quite likes that. A lot of cars in the street will be helping the system. So we're at about 75 metres now. It's faultless. I haven't seen one bit of breakup, haven't seen one bit of audio drop. The audio will be the first thing to go if it goes. Here we go, we're starting to get it in, we're starting to lose it now, I'd say. This is about the edge of the picture now. Yeah, we're starting to get some audio drops there, and I'd say he'd be at a good 100 metres. He's completely out of line of sight. There's nothing line of sight between us and him. There's a lot of trees, a lot of thick foliage actually between the camera and between the receiver, and that's going to kill us pretty quickly because it's mostly water. So that's about the edge of the reception. That's probably about 100, just over 100 metres through tree foliage, trees, bushes, cars and so forth. It starts to suffer a bit. About now we're starting to look pretty perfect. There's a few trees and stuff in between us, a few cars, a few bushes, but it seems to be holding up all right there. The breakup's very gradual, and the good thing is you kind of get used to it because get used to knowing that it's going to happen because you get a very kind of grainy picture, and that gives a good indication that you're kind of on the edge of the quality. Actually, that crane actually would be exactly between us and the receiver. Right, the signal will be right down, going right down the middle of that. So that's obviously not a good thing to try to get through. Crossing the road there, we're pretty well line of sight. The picture's cleaned itself up a lot. We're still actually probably a good 75 metres away at this stage. So we're probably a bit further than I said before. So picture's perfect now. Can't fault that at all. We've got pretty well line of sight now of the receiver. About 50 metres out. And it's looking good. So there he is there. So he'd be about 20 metres there now. And that's pretty well how it works. The receiver's actually not even pointing the right direction. It's pointing about 90 degrees to where he is. But it still seems to handle it pretty well, even if the antennas aren't facing in the right direction.